Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. Beyond measure.
I'm gonna show you how great I am. Last night I cut the light off in my bedroom, hit the switch, was in the bed before the room was dark. I'm gonna show you how great I am. Only last week I murdered a rock. I'm gonna show you. Injured a stone. Hospitalized a brick. I'm so mean I make medicine sick. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
What is happening, everyone? JD here. Cheers, everyone. Oh, I should have this in my glass, but I was fucking around with Rumble. Trying to get the Rumble chat up for anyone watching over there, so just bear with me a sec. My first time doing that, and it's more of a pain in the ass than I thought it would be. Of course, you know, such is life. Oh, actually, I have two pop-outs. Okay, so I do have a Rumble chat window open for all you guys over on Rumble, because I see that I have been getting engagement over there, so I don't want to treat you like the redheaded stepchild, even though you sort of are. It's a joke. Sort of. Anyways, now the reason Rumble is a pain because, like I've shared before, I have all my chats go into one window except for Rumble, and Restream is the service I use, and they have assured me that they are bringing Rumble into the fold, but they will not give me an ETA, of course. So it could be tomorrow, it could be 10 years from now. Fucking knows. Anyways, guys, let me get a legit beer going here to cheers you with, not a half-assed. I mean, that looks pathetic. I can't cheers like that. It's got to be full, right? Uh-oh. I got a lot of head. Got to use the nose grease trick. If you don't know what that is, rub your nose, stick it in the head. Hey, if you think it's gross, fuck you. It works. So, we're just going to roll with it. Okay, after a rough start there, let's go ahead and let me start with the good stuff and end with the good stuff. Remember, 99% of things you worry about will never happen, so stop worrying. You don't have to be a Bible-believing Christian like me. This applies to anyone in the world. Gratitude is very powerful. It goes hand in hand with this. If you're a grateful human being, you'll worry less. It's just how it works. Can't explain it. It's just the way it works. So, don't worry about tomorrow. Don't worry about today. Don't worry about what you're going to do next. Just enjoy the moment. Live in the present, right? That's the best way to live life. If you're not doing that, and I'm the pot calling the kettle black, and I still slip into my old ways of fear and worry and all that bullshit. It's just a waste of time and energy is what it is. So I'll shut up now and cheers, you guys. Get the glass. Get the shirts. Cheers, everyone. Okay. JD's2cents.com. All the merch is there. Help support the channel. Appreciate you. I have a shameless tip jar there too. If you just want to give me money, I will gladly take your money for being here. Again, this is a hobby of mine, so if I don't make a dime off of it, that's great. If I do, though, icing on the cake. So, with that, oh yeah, I got to do my shameless plugs. Here's the glass, here's the shirts. I really like this shirt. I'm going to order this for myself. It's the Commie-Crat shirt. I should own all these, but then I would be even more in the poorhouse than I already am. And I got to feed my dogs and myself and keep the electricity on. So, I like the Commie-Crat shirt, though. It's clean, but it's bold. It says a statement. If you wore this out in public, especially with the political climate right now, you might get shot. So, might just wear it around the house. you know, but still a great shirt. Support the channel. Excuse me. I should just let it go, let it rip, right? Let's get rid of those. Okay, so tonight I was going to talk about. I'll get the X feed up. Well, I'll get it up here in a second because I want to prime this, prep this. I was going to talk about the toxicity of cancel culture tonight, and I will do that tomorrow, hopefully. I keep putting that one on the back burner because then something better comes up that I need to talk about while it's relevant. Yeah, we'll talk about toxicity of cancel culture hopefully tomorrow, unless something else crazy comes up. Joe Biden, there is video of him getting on a plane to go back to D.C. today. There's already questions surrounding it because he jogged up the stairs, and it wasn't the little kiddie stairs, it was the legit stairs, the adult stairs. So there's that. Again, I really hope he isn't dead. Not for his sake. He's a nasty scumbag, pedophile, gross piece of trash that showered with his 13-year-old daughter, or even younger than that. Ugh. The guy just disgusts me on so many levels. He's just nasty. So I have no sympathy for Joe Biden whatsoever. Whatsoever. What terrifies me, not terrifies, that's the wrong word. What scares me about it, if he's dead, this country, I mean, we're already on the brink of civil war, and I think that could be what pushes us over. And the last thing I want to see, I'm always coming down on commie-crats. When I say commie-crats, I'm talking about Democrats in power. Democrats that have turned their back on the United States of America, that are traitors. I'm just going to say it. They're traitors to the United States. And I really hope that a lot of them will see treason trials come 2025. I really do. Because the only thing that these sick people, we spoke about it yesterday, they have a soul, but they have no heart, they have no empathy or sympathy. They're just husks of human beings. They have nothing inside anymore. That's how dark they are. The only thing that they will understand, and that the mass following of them will understand, is force at some point. I mean, you just see the arrogance. I can't believe Cheadle actually resigned today. But I think that was more of her just not wanting to have to deal with the bullshit for the next coming months, because she would have been subpoenaed to Congress numerous times. So, anyways, I digress. Rabbit Trail, welcome to the show. You'll see and learn very quickly that I like to chase rabbit trails, but I always seem to find my way back to the main path. So yeah, we'll talk about cancel culture and why it's toxic. Well, that wasn't a very good segue. So what I'm saying with these people is that they're only going to understand force. And I'm forgetting how I got on this rabbit trail now, because I'm thinking about it too much. But anyways, let's get back to what I was saying. So, we will talk about toxic cancel culture hopefully tomorrow. However, what I want to talk about tonight, because it's trending strongly for me, these numbers won't seem very large to you guys, because my channel's still new, relatively new. On the main post here, it got 70,000 likes and 10,000 retweets and 18,000 comments. Again, I'm fairly new to X. I've only been on X for a little over a year now, so I'm still learning how the numbers work. But what this tells me, 5.7 million people viewed it, 70,000 people liked it, 10,000 people liked it so much that they were willing to put it on their profile, and then 18,000 commented on it. If I had to guess, by the results I've gotten, a lot of these comments are to troll what was said here. And it's just disgusting what's said. So tonight we're going to talk about race baiting, and just it's garbage, it's trash, and it sort of goes hand in hand with cancel culture in that it's a Marxist tactic, it's a communist tactic to take over a country from within, to take over people's minds and to shut them up so that they don't think they have a voice. It's an outright attack on the First Amendment without you even realizing it. Okay? So Governor Westmore, just total trash, man. He says Donald Trump is about to find out being the President of the United States is a capital black job. Capital B black job. What if I got up there as a white man and said this in reverse? Let's use Barack Obama. Barack Obama is about to find out being the President of the United States is a white job. Whoa, if that was said, holy shit. I would still, even today, with X being a free speech platform, I would probably get suspended, if not just outright shut down over that statement. Yet because they have a darker shade of skin, they get away with it because of our history of slavery in this country, of whites over blacks. When are we going to get past this bullshit? When are we going to move forward as a nation? I have black friends. I have gay friends. You know, I have friends of all different creeds, colors, religions. I don't judge people on that. I try not to judge people at all. That's God's job. It's not mine. These people are getting back to, they're just husks. They're empty husks with a human exterior and a soul. You know, I'm not going to go as far to say they don't have a soul, because if they're a human, they have a soul. But this is just disgusting. It's disgusting. And this is by far the most traction I've gotten on X so far to date. 162 likes blows away anything I've gotten. I've gotten like maybe a dozen likes before. So this, and it keeps getting traction. And I have 6,000 plus views on my comment. Yet somehow We Are the Racist rolls my eyes and, just what I just did. It's so disgusting. People are resonating with this. And I want to know why. Why are you resonating with this? This channel is a place you can come and let your hair down and be a real human being. Take your mask off and be real. I will never, ever, ever come down on anyone here. This is your channel, by the way. It's not mine. I'm just the host. I just set it up. You know, I just set up the party, right? At my house, have all the nice snacks, the food, the beverages. You show up and it's your party. No, it might be my house, but it's your party. It's your place to come, let your hair down, and be a real human being. That's my hope and prayers for this channel. So yeah, I want to know what people are thinking when it comes to my response to this tweet. And to just this tweet in general. Just, in my humble opinion, it's just absolutely disgusting. And it's an outright attack on the First Amendment. What they're trying to do here, and they're successful. That's the thing. They're very successful, not just on the left, but on the right as well. Like, how many people do you know that would actually talk about racism in public and race baiting in public? I don't know anyone. It's one of those taboo topics. No, don't talk politics, sex, or religion. God forbid. God forbid we advance as a nation and actually overcome this bullshit. So yeah, that's my rant on that. Go ahead, we have about 15 minutes left. We'll jump into the news on X, see what's going on. On the bottom half of the hour, I have Jen here with me. She's going to be interacting with me and sharing her 2 cents and Again, guys, chat is open. You guys can chat right now here on X, on YouTube, DLive, and also Rumble. So go ahead and send me your 2 cents right now on the chats, and I will engage with you. Okay, with that, let's hop into the X feed. See, Mario Newfall. New poll shows Kamala leading Trump. No shocker here. She's going to have a bump in the polls. And always remember this. The vast majority of polls are biased to the left. If we haven't learned that by now, you haven't learned anything since 2016. Why do you think they were so shocked when Donald Trump not only won, but trounced Hillary Clinton in that election? Because all the polls, remember, were pointing to Hillary. All of them. Hillary's the next president. Trump doesn't stand a chance. And then what happened? Always, always, always take polls with a huge grain of salt because they're all bullshit for the most part. There's some good ones out there. But when there's only just a few good ones out there, what's the point of polling anyways? If they're going to be biased, a lot of them, the vast majority of them, then it's a lost art. It used to be a good thing when the media wasn't completely sold out to the left. But now that it is, you can just take this and throw it in the trash bin. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I shouldn't even cover my mouth. What am I doing? Be real, right? Cheers. I give that a 6 out of 10 just because I covered my mouth. Yep. Okay, so we're just going to move forward from this because you're going to see this all over the place. Just dismiss it. If you have half a brain, please read my shirt. Read my shirt. Just dismiss the polls. Vote your conscience in November or whenever you're going to vote. If you early vote, whenever you do it. The polls don't mean anything. The only poll that matters is on November 5th. That's the only one that matters. Oh, and now we have these trolling. I follow these people just because I want to be in the loop, but I really hate X shit posts like this. Do you believe Trump can beat Kamala Harris, yes or no? And come up with something better, dude. Really? Oh, Krasenstein. Let's see what this piece of trash is going to say. Joe Biden is fine. To all those on the right wing spreading false rumors about Joe Biden being gravely ill or worse, some of whom almost celebrated such misinformation. He always puts words in the right's mouth like he knows what we're thinking. And he's so off base. That's another tactic, though. It's a Marxist tactic. And it works. Just look at what's going on in our country. They sit there and they speak as if they're one of us, or they speak as if they know what the enemy is thinking. And it's just bullshit. To all of those on the right spreading false rumors about Joe Biden being gravely ill or worse, some of whom almost celebrated such misinformation, here's a video recording of President Biden boarding Air Force One just 10 minutes ago. Please stop believing and see how long this is. And sharing everything you hear on social media, especially from such sources known for spreading lies and creating chaos, even though the media is bought and paid for by the left. That's funny. Have you noticed how much the Democrats, ever since he lost the debate, have attacked the media? Have you noticed that? Even though on the right, and especially MAGA Republicans, have had the hammer brought down on top of us day after day after day by the mainstream media. But now, the one little time that the media can't cover something up for the left because it's just too big of a shit show, the media's against us. It's terrible. The media hates us Democrats. Give me a break. You guys are so full of shit, your eyes are brown. Please stop believing and sharing everything you hear on social media, especially from sources known for spreading lies and celebrating chaos. It's important to verify information and rely on credible news outlets. Okay, so he said social media, and he's actually celebrating mainstream media here. But I still stand on my previous statement because they have been doing that as well. You guys recognize that. But what are credible news outlets, Brian? Tell me that. CNN, MSLSD, Fox, as in FAUX News, Fox News. No, even Newsmax is bought and paid for now. You know, money talks, man. And one thing that Democrat donors have a lot of is fucking skrill. They have a lot of buckskins. And they spread it around, man. They buy people off left and right. I mean, just look at Sean Hannity. I can't stand the guy. He's all about money. All about money. He's such a shill. Such a shill. All of Fox News is a joke now ever since Tucker was fired. It's a joke. So I'm not just talking about left wing. I'm talking about right wing outlets as well. The best news you can find is right here on X, just by scrolling through and following like-minded people. And you will find the real news. You will find the truth. I follow a bunch of left-wingers so I control the fuck out of them. If you want to troll, that's great. But if you don't have a stomach for it, like, I get tired. I really do. I get bogged down with it, and I have to, like, step away at times and be like, oh, just the lies these people tell constantly. It just takes so much energy to counter those lies. But that's a Marxist in a nutshell. And, you know, if I don't counter, who else is going to counter? It's time to step up and counter these people and call out their bullshit. But we all have special giftings, okay? So you don't have a stomach for it. I don't blame you one bit. There's other ways you can volunteer to be a poll worker, talk to your friends, whatever it takes. Just expose the Marxist agenda. And I'm actually going to do like a week-long, if not longer, discourse, you know, on the Marxist agenda and what it actually says in the manifesto on how to take over a country from within. There you go, covering my mouth again, trying to be polite. That was like a 2 out of 10. Josh, shame on you. So anyways, let's just watch. I mean, we have been watching the video. I think it's in frame. Doesn't really, well, let's go ahead and play the volume, and I'll play it a couple of times in full screen just so you guys can see, and I want to hear your thoughts on it. Just pop on the audio here.
President, how are you feeling? How are you feeling? How are you feeling?
Get rid of my ugly mug.
What? How are you feeling since you dropped out of the race, sir? Can Harris beat Trump? President, how are you feeling? How are you feeling? How are you feeling? What? How are you feeling since you dropped out of the race, sir? Can Harris beat Trump? President, how are you feeling? How are you feeling? How are you feeling?
Okay, Krasenstein cut out the last part of the stairs, and he turned around real quick and he saluted. So this isn't the full video. Right there, that gives me pause. Why are you cutting out that part, Krasenstein? And also just how he sort of jogged up the stairs, the adult stairs. Remember, this is the guy that literally very soon was going to have to be hurled on to the baggage loader and get on Air Force One that way. I have issues with it. I'm not going to go full-blown conspiracy theorist on it at this point. But I would love to hear what you guys have to say. If anyone's here in the chat, or I can't wait to hear what Jen has to say about it. We could talk about other things, Jen. We don't need to talk about this, but the call-in, if you haven't seen the call-in video from yesterday, and I'm not going to dig it up now, it's buried, but that was really strange. It definitely sounded like a soundboard to me. Someone operating a soundboard to respond to Kamala. Having said all that, again, no love lost for Joe Biden. I can't stand the guy. He's a piece of trash. However, I really hope he's alive. I hope he's okay. I hope he's still president right now. Well, president. Trump is my president ever since 2016. I will never, ever forfeit that fact. Cheers to that. However, the acting president, or whatever you want to call him, we can't have him just be disappeared by the left for a few reasons. Well, a couple glaring reasons. First, civil war again, which the right would win very quickly because we have all the blue pockets in this country surrounded and we have a lot more guns. That's just reality. Okay? I don't want to see a bunch of normal Democrats die, though. I don't want that. And I think anyone with half a brain, and more importantly, a heart and a strong soul, and just being a moral human being, amoral, not immoral, a moral human being, you don't want to see fellow Americans die, even though a bunch of them are completely brainwashed left-wing trash at this point. But I don't want to see them die. I don't want to see them have to sacrifice their lives or the lives of their children because a war breaks out. The other glaring reason is the Democrats, the commie-crats, the Democrats in power will use that, the Marxists will use that immediately to make him a martyr to glean votes in November. That's how sick these people are. So, for Krasenstein to say this is just garbage. I hope Joe Biden's fine. I agree with you there, Krasenstein, or however the hell you say your name. There we go, covering again. To all those on the right spreading false rumors about Joe, it's not false rumors. We have concerns. We're concerned. You don't know anything about that because you're a commie-crap piece of shit that has no empathy or sympathy for other human beings. So you don't even know what concern is. Being gravely ill, or we're afraid he's dead. Okay? Some of whom almost celebrate. No. Who are these people celebrating that on the right? And if you are on the right wing and you're celebrating President Biden dying, then fuck you. You're a disgusting piece of shit, just like the commie-crats. Go join them. Here's a video recording of President... Well, we'll see. He's supposed to speak tomorrow to the nation from the Oval Office. It's probably real, folks. I'm not going to go... I hope it's real. I really do. I hope he's alive and well. I'm almost out of time here. Please stop believing and sharing everything you hear on social media. That's good advice, but pointed back... So you're pointing one finger, Krasenstein, or however the hell you say your name, and there's 3 pointing back at you, buddy. So good advice there. Don't believe this, knucklehead. Especially from sources known for spreading lies and creating chaos. Exactly. You. It's important to verify information and rely on credible news outlets. There are very few out there these days of credible news outlets. Again, get on X, get with friends, talk with your friends, talk with people on X. That's the best information you can... Make up your own mind is what I'm saying. Quit believing other people. Quit being spoon-fed. Remember the Matrix? And I'll shut up after this. But they're sit there plugged in like batteries, and they're just fed through a straw constantly for their energy. That's exactly what you are. You're just a pod person being fed through a straw. If you're watching CNN, Fox News, all that crap, if you take that as the truth, find your own truth, find the real truth. And with that, let's open it up. I got Jen here, and I'd love to hear what she has to say because I'm thirsty and I want to drink some beer. No, I'm just joking, Jen. So, how's it going?
Greetings and salutations, as Christian Slater might say.
Cheers.
Let me jump down that rabbit hole about Joe Biden. You said he ran up the big steps. And he saluted the troops. Joe Biden never salutes the troops.
Very true. Very true.
That's another kind of, I mean, if you're going to go down a rabbit hole, you might as well go all the way down.
Yeah, and I should have that full video ready. Like, I will have it up tomorrow. I don't mean to cut you off, but it's so disingenuous of Krasenstein here to cut that segment out at the back end. What's he hiding, right?
Right. Isn't that what they call the deep fake?
I mean, I see other things here that could say, like, his sunglasses to me didn't even look right. Sort of looked weird. Like it was AI, maybe.
His frown looked weird when he was on the plane. That picture they have of him on the plane, his nose is big and fat, and his chin doesn't have the divots in it.
Right.
If you zoom in on those pictures, it looks really suspect.
It does.
Now, if I was a conspiracy theorist, I'd say that it wasn't Joe Biden.
Yeah, and using the word conspiracy theorist, and I'm actually going to do an episode on this in the future as well, hopefully this week. We need to stop using the left's vocabulary because when we do that, we're only empowering them. So words like conspiracy theorist, racist, there's a whole slew of them. Just go down the list.
They have used those words to the point where they don't mean anything anymore. You're supposed to save those words for people who are truly the worst of the worst.
Right.
And they use them with abandon. Yeah, they use them with abandon all the time. And then it comes to the point where you're like, okay, well, if everything's racist, then nothing's racist. If everything's a conspiracy theory, then nothing's a conspiracy theory.
But what I will
if everyone's
say
a Nazi, then nobody's a Nazi. I mean, it's you've ruined the word for the people who truly deserve it.
I agree with everything you just said. Unfortunately, the dark flip side of that coin is that the weaker-minded out there, especially the children, like the 20-something-year-olds coming up, they're going to be voting for the first time. They take it hook, line, and sinker, and they just eat it up. You know what I mean?
have children. I have children, and I'm going to tell you, they're about that age, and they are not falling for it.
That's good. That means you're a good mom and a good parent. So cheers to you for
that.
Well,
I let them figure it out themselves. In fact, my daughter was on Fox News one time for while she was in school, while Hillary was running against Trump. She was interested in it, and I didn't put any of my views on her. We just watched the debate. Then we flipped back to CNN where we were watching it, and the anchors came on and started talking. And she looked at me, she goes, "That's not what happened at all." So I didn't inject my views to her. She was just interested, and she ended up forming her own views.
Well, that's awesome.
And it was amazing to watch.
No, that's really awesome. You must be a very proud mother for that. And
I am.
Cheers to you for that.
I got
you
great
handled
kids.
it the right way.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into full detail here. I didn't have the best upbringing. I wasn't like molested as a child or anything.
Did any of us have a great upbringing though?
Right. No, like our parents.
We
you
always
realize
want
the
to
older
change
you
stuff.
Get, the older you get, you realize your parents are just flawed human beings like yourself.
And they did the best with what they had, and we did the best with what we had. We tried to fix the problems that we saw. But you know what? Actually, I've been talking about a lot about this with some of my friends lately. We're Gen X, and we got beat with not wire hangers, but like race car tracks and plastic spoons and all that. And then
Right.
we said we didn't want our kids to be raised like that. Now our kids are lazy.
Yes.
So we kind of contributed to that by trying to fix what our parents did to us.
And that's
Turns
the
out they were probably more right than we were.
right, and that's just the generational pendulum that swings
Yeah.
back and forth. That's how
It
it's going
all,
to work.
yes. And I've
Right.
always explained it like a wave at a concert.
hmm
Like the minute you get what you wanted, you want the exact opposite.
Right. It's just like when people bitch about the weather. We bitch about the weather every day, no matter what it is. Right. So like it's raining
Yeah.
out. Hey, uh, oh man, it's raining, but we really needed the water. And then the next day it's not raining,
Right.
and they're like, oh, it's a drought. We need rain. It's the human condition, right?
I
Um,
don't know what state you live in. I live in Ohio. We can have all 4 seasons in one day.
yeah, I'm in Kami, California. So
No, you aren't. Are you really?
yeah, I'm behind
Oh,
enemy
no
lines out
kidding.
here. Actually, though, I live in more. Well, it's like in the wintertime I live in the Coachella Valley area, and
Okay.
that's pretty deep blue. But it's a bunch of old blue chip Democrats there, right?
Okay.
So um, it is what it is, and California is just it's a weird place for sure.
Uh,
95% of what you hear on mainstream media about California or media in general is not true, just like everything else. So
right. I would. That's
it's
the
not
point I
nearly
was
as
going to
bad.
make too.
It's not nearly as bad as it's always made out to be.
That's the point I was going to make too about how when you talk to people in real life, and yeah, I noticed that you said that you have people of all kinds around you. I do too.
Yeah,
And you're not going to know somebody else's life unless you talk to those kind of people. So,
great point.
but
Great
it's
point.
not nearly what you hear in the news. People in real life just want to get along. They really do want to have a nice life without
Yes,
all this bullshit
and
and get
that's a
along.
great point. And I want to piggyback on that. Getting back to what I was saying about we all have certain gifts and attributes as human beings that are different
Yes,
from one another. And so I'm a bull in a china shop. I am terrible when it comes to society. Like I can put on the mask when I'm out there. I do Instacart to pay the bills right now, and
sure.
people love me. I do great, as a
Right.
shopper, and I can sit there and put on a smile. And I just posted
Play the
something
part.
today on my ex about this person, and this happens a lot. I text them and say, okay, the large size of this drink is out, but they have the smaller size of 52 ounces. Do you want one or two? And their reply is, yes, please. And I sit there going, oh my
Okay, now what do I do with
God.
that?
I so want to just tear into you right now as an idiot, but I'll just wear this shirt in front of you instead. Um, so so I just posted on X, and people were getting a giggle out of it. Not nearly the amount of traffic I got on the racism thing, which really surprised me that so many people are closeted in that area. So I really want to hear more. You don't have to talk about it now, but no, it just was funny to me. People just don't even read stuff anymore. It's like they don't have the
Right.
time. But going back to what you were saying,
They read
where
headlines. It
yeah,
was brought to you by we've been uh diminishing our capacity for paying attention. It used to be a 7-minute time span that people had before they got bored and started wandering off. Now with the
it's these
emergence of
things.
TikTok, we
It's
jump
these
here,
things.
we got 30 seconds and you're bored.
Yep.
So we've trained people to be this way.
hmm Yeah, and that's why the whole reason TikTok and YouTube Shorts exist is for that reason.
Exactly.
Because people just can't even, most people, I should say, just can't take more than 10 seconds of information in without getting bored.
Right.
We're just
I'm
on
starting
such
to see
overload.
people abandon their cell phones and start getting out and doing stuff.
Good.
Because, like I said, about the once you want something totally different. People are getting tired of the cell phones. They're getting tired of being attached to something.
Yeah.
And they want to
I
get out
really
and just experience nature and everything.
I really hope you're right, like on a mass scale with
Me
that.
too.
Because that is the
Me too.
antidote. Go out into
Mm-hmm.
nature. For a while there, I'm just going to be completely honest here. I was being a bad dad to my fur babies, and I was just depressed. And we would just sit inside
Uh-huh.
all day in my little trailer, my RV 25-foot trailer.
Yeah.
And then what snapped me out of it was my black lab just looking at me with the just depression on his face. And I'm like,
Mm.
what am I doing? And so
Right.
I made a pact with him that day. I said, hey man, every single morning from here on out, I'm taking you and your brother first thing to the. I won't say it now because they'll freak out. Dog
Yeah, I hear you.
dog park. And
Dogs understand way more English
oh
than
my
we
gosh,
give them
the
credit for.
dogs are so awesome. They're so
Yeah.
freaking awesome.
I'm more of a
Um,
dog person than a cat person, but my cat just brought me a mouse the other day,
well,
so
cats are
she's
cool
doing her
too.
job.
Yeah, but the point I'm making with the nature thing,
Yeah.
I didn't even see it for me. It was for them, right? Ever since I've
Right.
been doing that, my attitude, just from spending 15 to 30 minutes in nature every morning,
Yeah.
watching my dogs be happy and run, and watching the birds, watching the wind blow through the leaves of the trees,
Right.
feeling the sun on my face.
Yeah, the
It's giving
air
me
in your
goosebumps right now
hair, all
talking
that.
about it. Why? It's because we're meant to be in nature. We came
Yes, we
from
are.
nature. We came from the earth. Regardless of what your religious background is, we came from the earth. Okay?
Yes.
We were crafted from the earth. And so
Agree.
we have to be out there in it. And if we're not, I mean, look at what Meta is trying to make a metaverse and wear VR goggles all day. It's the absolute antithesis of what we're supposed to
Yes.
be as human beings.
Yeah, you know what? I thought about that a lot, and I thought that if he would have come out with that at the beginning of 2020 when everything shut down, he probably would have been successful because that people were very vulnerable at that point. But he's waiting
But
till
again,
now when people are ready to break out and get outside now.
yeah,
He's never going to make it with that
no.
anymore.
And to hell with him. He's a piece of trash, in my
Oh,
opinion.
did you see he just came out saying Trump was a badass?
I don't
I'm
even know
like,
if
he
that's
sees the
real.
writing on the wall.
I don't even know if that's real. What is that
I don't
verified?
either because I can't imagine him doing that, but I guess he freed up his account.
He's A, it's either complete bullshit, or B, he's just trying to save face. He doesn't mean it.
I think C, he's seeing the writing on the wall that Trump's going to be president again, and he's trying to kiss ass a little bit.
That's what I'm saying, save face, right?
Yeah.
Because if he's subpoenaed again to Congress, and it's a complete red Congress, meaning the House and the Senate, come down on him, stuff will be
Right.
exposed from Facebook and Meta that's gonna fuck that guy over royally. I guarantee it.
I can't believe he hasn't been fucked over royally already with all the damage he's done to teenagers and stuff.
He's protected by the left because he's a huge
I
media.
know.
He's a huge media
Right.
outlet. That's why. He's and meanwhile he's building a multi-billion-dollar bunker in the side of a mountain in Hawaii. What does that tell you?
Right. Yeah,
You know?
that nobody's worried about rising oceans. That's what it tells me.
There's that. That's a great point. I never thought of that. You know, why is it that all these commie-crat leftists all own beachfront property?
Exactly.
Yet on the same or the opposite side of the coin, they're sitting there screaming about rising oceans and it's terrible.
I got to get on my private plane and fly somewhere to preach to you about climate change.
These guys
I
are
hope you
so
don't
full of
mind.
shit. They're so full of shit. And
Please
but
stop driving your car Oh,
kills me.
I just heard that California was telling you not to even burn candles because of the air quality.
They can, see, that's a little misinformation. That's misinformation.
Okay, is it?
If you can find a verified articles on that, like a bunch of them, I might. But I live here,
Right.
and I've heard nothing of the sort.
So you've not been told not to burn incense or candles?
No, and if someone come up and told me that, I'd tell them to go fuck themselves.
Yeah,
Right?
and not to grill or pan fry.
No, not happening. I have a Pit Boss tabletop smoker. Use the hell out of that thing. It's so good, so good. And
You
no one's
like
ever
that a
gonna
lot?
tell
Does
me.
it grill too?
It grills. It can be an oven. It can be everything. I do all my
Oh,
food
it's
on
called
it
a Pit
basically.
Boss?
No, it's a
Because
Pit Boss.
we're in the market for a new grill, actually.
It's a Pit Boss. Here, I'll pull up a picture right now. Go ahead and keep talking while I pull up this picture.
Yeah, I know our grill is on its way out, so we've been trying to ask people what they like. Blackstone gets a lot of recommendations. But if you got something that does all that shit,
I've
then
heard good
great.
things about Traeger, but this is my second one, and I was stupid and I didn't get the. Let me get this in frame. I have to go to full screen here.
I don't know if I
Now
can
my ugly
see it.
mug is here.
All I have on my phone is the fact that we're talking.
That's fine. You can go back and watch like the last bit of this
Okay.
live stream, and you'll see it.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a gorgeous grill. It has a copper top, black bottom. It's gorgeous, and this
Nice.
is good
Meow.
for the RVing because it's compact. But you can get much bigger ones if you have a house, And
Uh-huh.
Pit Boss has really good customer service too.
Oh, nice.
They shipped me a whole bunch of new parts because this one broke down, and I'm like, fuck! I bought another fucking paperweight, for $300. And no, they were good. It took a while, but they shipped it right out, no questions asked, and you got it fixed. So
Nice.
the thing is awesome. And the reason it broke down, which I sort of failed to tell them, is I turned it on high and just left it to clean it, and it caught fire.
Oh no.
And so it fried a bunch of the electronics on the inside, but
Oh my
they
God.
don't know won't hurt them. So yeah, it all
Exactly.
worked out. Because they would have been like, "Oh, that voids your warranty," but you just got to play the game, right?
Yeah.
So let's see. We got we can end now, or we can keep going till the end of the hour. I don't really see anyone else here. Did you want to comment on my open with the race baiting thing, or if you don't, that's fine.
Oh, there's a lot of that going on, and we need to stop that. We need to stop talking about that stuff because nobody really cares in real life, as
Right.
I was
So
saying.
yeah, you agree with me that as a nation to move forward, we gotta stop.
I wish that
like,
Joy
the
Reid
best
would
thing.
just shut the fuck
There you
up.
go. There you go. But have you ever seen the video of Morgan Freeman where he's talking about
Yes.
you stop
How do
calling
we
me a
stop
black man
racism?
and I'll stop calling you a white man? And he's like, well, I'm Jewish. And he's like, well, I'll stop calling you a Jew if you stop calling me a black man. He just owned it.
Right.
And I'm just like, this is so awesome. This is where we need to be as a country. And you know what?
Yeah, he's like, you stop racism by stop talking about it.
I'm actually going to pull that up and play it on the backside.
Okay.
But
Great.
if you have anything else to share, go for it.
Covered that.
You see anything on X you want to talk about?
Oh, okay. I live for the funny articles, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I saw today that there's a new TikTok trend where girls are spraying lemon juice on their hair to lighten it in the sun.
What? Does that work?
We've been doing it since the 80s, and apparently people have been doing it before us too. And they're like, oh, this is this new trend. We're like, bitch, please, we've been doing this forever.
It's just straight lemon juice.
Well,
And
of
the
course,
Gen Zers
nowadays
are
they're
trying to
saying
say
to
they
mix it with
discovered it?
water. And what's that?
And the Gen Zers are saying they tried to discover it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's
I
like a new trend.
I actually feel really bad for the Gen Zers in mass, I should say. Not like your kids or anything. Your kids are on the right path, and that's awesome.
Yeah, they're doing good. They're
What I'm
good.
saying, though, in mass is what I'm seeing is Gen Zers are like just lost. You know what I mean? And they're like, where do we go?
Right.
And to me, that's a little scary because they're very
Well,
susceptible. They're very
they're
susceptible
being
to just the little shorts they hear on YouTube and TikTok and all that bullshit.
well, they're also being raised by parents who were raised with the internet too.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah, my
so
generation, millennial. Like I'm very back into millennial,
yeah.
but still, yeah.
So
And
when the
I'm
internet
lost. Like
came around
my
and people
generation,
started getting
millennials are lost. You know, I'll be the
yeah.
first to admit it. Go ahead. What were you saying?
Okay, the way I figure my job as a parent, it's not to make my kids into what I want them to be,
Amen.
but to support and promote what they're supposed to be in their lives.
There you go. That was so well said. Cheers to that. Cheers to you
Thank
for
you.
that. I'll get my mug up again. Cheers.
Cheers to you too. And I bet I can burp better than you eventually when we get going on this.
You will, because I keep covering my fucking
I
mouth
will
like a dumbass.
I will challenge you on that.
We'll have a burping contest right here on the show
Yeah,
one day. Yeah, for sure.
absolutely. I'm not ashamed. I've been
Yeah.
married 20 years. He's not embarrassed by me, so I don't care.
Well, that's a good point to end at. I'm gonna finish up with the Morgan. Well, you know what? I'm gonna play the Morgan Freeman clip here, and then hear your 2 cents, and we'll finish up with that. How about that?
Okay, sounds good.
And I gotta grab another beer too while this is playing because I cannot leave without cheersing everyone and having a good night.
Okay.
Okay. So
Well,
here
I'll
we go.
crack one too then when you get back.
Black History Month, you find
Ridiculous.
why?
You're going to relegate my history to a month?
Oh, come on.
What do you do with yours? Which month is White History Month? No,
Look
at his face.
Come on, tell me.
Well,
I can't hear
I'm
you.
Jewish.
Okay.
That's right.
Which month is Jewish History Month?
There isn't one.
Oh. Why not?
Yeah.
Do you want one?
No.
No. I don't either.
See?
I don't want
There
a
you
Black
go.
History Month.
Cilantro.
Black history is American history.
How are we going to get rid of racism until...
Stop talking about it.
Amen.
I'm going to stop calling you a white man.
And a woman.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you to stop calling me a black man.
So simple.
I know you as Mike Wallace. You know
I
me
can't
as
hear
Morgan
it.
Freeman. You
It's okay. We'll work on that. It is on
Okay.
the live stream, so you can go back and watch it. But
Alrighty.
we will remind me because I want to have you back on the show for sure.
Thank you.
And-
I had a really great time, and you're
Yeah,
so
this is
easy
fun.
to talk to. This is
fun. Well,
great.
thank you. And
I would totally do this again.
awesome. So just let me know when and where. DM me, and we'll do it again. But yeah, basically that was just the Morgan Freeman. You call me a black man, I'll call you a white man, and that's how we get over racism and move forward.
Yeah.
So amen to
What-
that.
What did you say you were going to talk about tomorrow?
Cancel culture being completely toxic, and there's
Ah.
never any place for it. And I will be the first one to say, I am guilty in the past of engaging in it. But just for a preview for tomorrow, every time we engage in cancel culture, whether we think it's little or big, whether we just block one person, and I understand there's times when you have to block a person because they're stalking you, they're a
Sure.
real threat in your
I
real life.
generally don't block people.
But I want to say that caveat because there are those instances, right?
Right.
I remember when I was, 6 years old, where my mother, so we were a nuclear family, my dad, my mother, myself, and my 3-year-old younger brother. And living in a nice suburban area in Loveland, Colorado, a nice quiet neighborhood. But every once in a while we have these vagabonds come through, and I don't know if it was one of them or whatever, but someone was stalking her. And this is back in '89 when it was just rotary phones and,
Right.
corded phones on the wall. So I
Right.
remember the cops coming over to our house, and they put a tracer machine on our phone
Yes.
because this guy kept calling our house. He found our number somehow. Oh, in the white pages, of course, because everyone had white pages back then, and
Hmm.
we were listed. And he kept calling the house and probably nasty sex stuff. You know, I didn't know that as a kid, but I'm just filling in the gaps now that I'm 41. And so the
Hmm.
cops were called, and I remember that because it was scary to me as a 6-year-old. Like, what is
Sure.
going on? So, segueing back to what I was saying, there are instances where people need to be blocked. Absolutely.
Right.
What I'm talking about is the 99.99% of time where people get pissed off at each other and then they either one party blocks or both block. It doesn't matter. We as individuals need to stop doing that, right? Because
Yeah.
it is a Marxist scumbag tactic, and it's destroying our country because it's destroying the First Amendment.
I would
That's what
agree.
that's what we're doing when we cancel people. We are
Especially
literal.
when you get online and and you're trying to say stuff and you want to be part of the conversation, and then all of a sudden you start blocking people who don't think your way.
Exactly.
I might jump in. I might want to jump in tomorrow for that.
Okay, you're more than welcome at any time. And
Oh,
again,
thanks a lot.
yeah,
I've
it's
had a really good time. Thank you for inviting me.
open invitation. Um, we'll just go ahead and
Thank you.
wrap it up here. That's a good note to end
Okay.
on. And thank you so much, Jen. Cheers to you.
All right, JD.
Cheers to your family, and especially cheers to your daughter who's serving. Are your sons serving as
Yes.
well?
No, my oldest was born without a hand and they didn't want him. He tried.
It sucks. He tried though. Cheers to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what
And
about your?
my middle one, I think he might have some autism going on. I don't
Gotcha.
know. He's very reserved and
I don't want to bring
shy
up a bunch of
and
personal stuff. Sorry if I
yeah, no, it's
overstepped my bounds
okay.
there. But
It's okay. He's just
please,
he's gonna take a little work getting him out of the house, but the other two are gone now.
it's all good. I understand.
So
My younger brother, my late younger brother, Caleb, may he rest in
mhm.
peace. Cheers to Caleb.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. He died. Thank you though. He died at 20. Yeah, 20. Right before
Mm.
his 21st birthday. 3 months before his 21st birthday of type 1
Oh my.
diabetes overnight because he had
Oh, really?
a seizure and he passed. And yeah, it was
That's tough.
devastating for our whole family. I'll go more into detail in future episodes on that.
Yeah, of course.
And the wounds have healed. Well, I thought they had, and then like a year ago, I called my uncle sobbing on the phone. So not quite, but
Yeah.
you never
But
it
you have
never
to
totally heals.
progress. You have to
Yeah,
progress a little bit at a
absolutely,
time. I mean, nobody can
absolutely.
tell anybody how to grieve, but if it turns out you're grieving that is it's dangerous to yourself, you need to see somebody.
Oh, I'm well
But
past that phase of my life of
yeah.
I'm just gonna off
Oh, I have a
myself.
friend who's not, and it's a tough subject. But anyway,
That's hard.
all
That's
right.
hard.
So let's not end this on a
Yeah,
nasty
let's not
note.
end it on
But
a downer. So, anyways,
right.
getting back, I will wrap up the episode with what I was saying. I always say this. Just, guys, anyone watching out there, anyone that comes across this, please just do not worry about today or tomorrow. Get out into nature like we've been talking about.
And
99
love
things.
each other. Just give
Yeah,
people a chance.
exactly. 99% of things you worry about will never ever happen. And that's
Absolutely.
reality. And with that, guys, have a wonderful night. Thank you so much, Jen. And I will have
All
you
right.
back
Thanks,
anytime.
JD.
It's an open door. So just let me know.
Thank you.
Okay?
I
Cheers.
appreciate it.
Have a wonderful evening.
Slancha. Night.